All right, I see that fun little live button. Hi, guys. I'm so excited that you guys are all here. I know some of you guys are watching us from Periscope, so thank you very much for tuning in. For those of you who are catching us live here on Google+, I'm so excited that you're here. For those of you who are not sure what's going on, my name is Steph Nissen, and with me is Heather Hyman. Say hi to the people, Heather.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm Heather in South Carolina.
And this hangout is growing a small business from 0 to 7,000 Facebook fans in a small town. So we don't want to discriminate against the people in the big cities. Chicago, we love you. That's where I used to live, so I'm very partial to the big cities. But this, we really wanted to focus in on those of us who live in a small town. Right now, I live in a town of 10,000 people. It's not big, but we're still using Facebook with my clients out here and seeing amazing progress. So what I want to do today is we're really going to interview Heather and talk about this amazing Facebook page that she has, this community and business she's built. So Heather is our feature. We're going to pick her brain today, so I'm pretty excited about that. We are using a hashtag on this hangout. We're using hashtag small town Facebook, all spelled exactly the way it sounds, all one word compressed. You can use that on Instagram. You could use it on Twitter. Heck, you could use it anywhere you wanted. And ask us questions. Post questions on the Hangout page itself. You could post questions to Twitter or on Instagram, or even in Periscope if you're watching live. We'd be happy to answer them along the way. So I do want to introduce Heather because she definitely needs an introduction because of how awesome she is. She's shaking her head at me, but she knows it's true. I would never lie about Heather. So Heather is the founder of Sweet Tea Social Marketing. She's a marketing strategist, a coach, a blogger, a speaker, and she focuses on helping clients across the United States how to use social media to grow their business. So she's small business owners and entrepreneurs can focus on their day-to-day operations and then have this expert social media manager and strategist that helps them really take hold of social media in today's busy world. So I'm very excited to have you, Heather. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad that we're doing this. This is fun.
Good. I'm glad you're excited. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Stephanie Nissen, and I own Nissen Media. I'm also a social media manager and strategist, much like Heather, which is probably why we get along so well. I'm a marketing consultant, speaker, and a blogger, and I work with small businesses, lots of local businesses. So this hangout is right up my alley, and I'm super excited to get Heather's insight into what she's done. So just a quick reminder, hashtag is small town Facebook. Use it on Twitter, Instagram, or you can definitely check this out on Periscope too. So what we're talking about is Facebook, so we definitely want to invite you to connect with us over on Facebook. So if you're not connected with me, it's facebook.com/Nissen Media. You can see my name in my little lower third down there, and you'll be able to see it nice and easy. If you want to connect with Heather, then you're going to go to facebook.com/Sweet Tea Social Marketing, and you can get connected to both of us there. So if you have a Facebook page that you want us to get connected with you, then share it on the Google page, share it on Instagram, share it on Twitter, and just use that hashtag, and where we can all get connected. We definitely want you guys to get some benefit out of this hangout, not just in the amazing knowledge that Heather is going to share, but also, make some new connections and see, get a little bump in likes while you're hanging out with us. So we're going to go ahead and dive in because I know Heather is antsy and she wants to tell us all about this amazing thing she's doing. So tell us about this amazing small town page that you took from 0 to 7,000 fans. What's the page and what's the purpose, Heather?
Okay, sure. Well, I kind of like a little bit of a backstory. My family, my husband was in the military, and we moved around from 2003 the whole time he was in the military. And every time we moved, we had to recreate, refind, obviously, new friends, getting familiar with a new town and a new community. So really, before social media was social media, I was using like Yahoo groups, and I was creating like these Yahoo groups in all these towns. We would have play groups. We would say, here's directions on how to get to the pool. Here is the direction to the place that we think is the best Mexican restaurant. And so I'm just by nature a connector. That's what I love to do, and I just feel that I'm wired that way. So fast forward to 2010, my husband was medically separated from the military, and he decided to take us and move our family to Fort Knox, which is a military community, but he was there as a civilian working at the Human Resources Command. So we were in Elizabethtown. I'm really excited to be in this community, but just once again, new place, not really knowing much of anything, kind of feeling like, you know, that feeling where you've gone somewhere and you almost just need locals to kind of give you the inside scoop. You know, where is that best Mexican restaurant or the place that you should avoid eating or going to after 8 p.m. on certain days of the week. And I was in graduate school and I was getting a degree in management and leadership, and I just started to have this desire to kind of take this entrepreneurial type endeavor, so to say, and create a business. But I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I liked to cook. I love to bake cupcakes, but I don't like baking for tons of people. So I knew that wouldn't work. And so the more I thought about it, I just realized I should take what I love to do, my family and my faith in God and my family is what's most important in my life. But I love connecting people. And I really saw there to be a pain point of there not being a resource in the town I lived in that had everything there was to do in the community on one website. So what I did, I had previously, like when I say previously, I mean like circa 2000. So at the time, it had been 11 years prior, I had done web design. And web design from the perspective of HTML, blank white piece of white sheet of software, and you're literally typing in code and creating websites. And I started working with a graphic designer, and I fell in love with Adobe Photoshop. And I had kind of maintained a lot of those skills over the course of that last 11 years, just as a hobby. And I had a website for my family and my friends, but nothing really business related. And so I watched 1,000 YouTube videos, and I created a website using WordPress, and I just filled this website full of content that was valuable. So I pretty much used a content marketing strategy and at the time, I didn't even know what the words content marketing meant, but just going backwards now, diving more into marketing of what I do, I said, I want to build this website, grow the traffic on the website, and I used social media to create this ability to grow the website. So that's kind of like how it started. The website domain, if you want to check it out, or just go to Google, it will show up, is Elizabethtown Family. If you ever saw the movie called Elizabethtown that had Kirsten Dunst, it was based out of this town in Kentucky. Elizabethtown is a town that is in Hardin County, Kentucky, near Fort Knox. And when I say small town, I realize some of you guys have small towns and you're thinking population 250. But I grew up in Columbia, South Carolina, which has a population of about 150,000. So to me, Elizabethtown has a population of around 30,000-ish. And of course, the greater community of Fort Knox is there, and then there's surrounding cities. But I can even tell you the reason we call this growing a Facebook page for small businesses and really meaning small town is I can tell you from my Google Analytics and from my Facebook Insights that 95% of my traffic is in this town that has got 30,000 people. So that's just kind of like what it is. You can find them on Facebook, Twitter, Elizabethtown Family. So that's what it is and kind of how it got started. And you can segue into like what you want to know next.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, for a lot of us, I mean, getting from 0 then to getting to 7,000, it seems like this unattainable goal. So how long did it take you to go from 0 to 7,000? How long?
Well, I ultimately, and thanks everybody who's watching this on Periscope. We appreciate you being creative with us. Give us some hearts to let us know that you're there. I ultimately started it just from the ground up. I said, I'm a mom. At the time, I had a 2, a 3, and a 6-year-old. Hello. Oh, my phone is even in the scope. That's lovely. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I'm multitasking. I don't have a tripod, so we're working with it. But I basically just said, I'm going to post about helpful, relevant information. Now, at the beginning, I didn't so much have a strategy of saying, am I posting too much? But I can tell you now that I wasn't posting too much. And in fact, I was putting information out there that people wanted to know. I was taking people that lived in a community and I was putting out their PG and G-rated content that was helpful to them, that was at their fingertips. So if there was going to be a free craft at Hobby Lobby and it was going to be taking place, let's say in 2 weeks, well, I would post about it on Facebook at that 2-week mark, and every single post I did, I included a link back to my website. So that is, of course, how I also grew my website traffic, is through social media. At the beginning, I had 0 paid marketing for Facebook, and in fact, to this day, in the course of almost, 2011, so 12, 13, 14, almost 4 years, we're at 3.5 years about, I've maybe spent $100 on Facebook advertising. Now, in the course of 4 years, Stephanie, that's practically nothing. But especially at the beginning, it was just all organic. I just said, hey, if you think this is valuable information and you know anybody who would like to have tips on the community and things to do and places to go that's family friendly, please share this with your friends. So, that wasn't my message all the time. Don't you love that noise you hear, or the scope notifications I get saying someone is having a periscope? So sorry for the creepy sounds. But ultimately, I just used organic growth. I mean, I went from 0, and then I had the milestone of I hit 500, and then I hit 1,000. So, it's been 3.5 years, and I have around 7,200 Facebook followers now. And, it didn't grow overnight. It took a while.
Right. It did. But what I'm taking away from what you're sharing is that it's, like you said, it was content marketing before we knew that as the word that it was, that you were doing exactly what we tell businesses they have to do now, which is you have to provide value. It's not just getting your sales message out. It's about providing something that they need, something that they want, something that they are just desire to consume. And then, of course, hopefully for us, that they want to share and pass on and help us move forward so that we don't have to spend that money in ads. So that is so cool. I love that.
Yeah, and I mean, I even kept, it's on my website, elizabethtownfamily.com, and it's in the About section, but I just kind of kept, a running history. But, I'm looking at it real quickly here, and, I kind of spotlight when, it was 2 years into doing my website. I had a local radio station, KMO 99.3 FM in Elizabethtown. They reached out to me and said, hey, we would love to have you come on air every Friday morning about 8:30 and just do a recap of 2 to 5 things that are fun going on this weekend. Would you be interested? And so that was just an opportunity that presented itself to myself, because they didn't pay me any money and I didn't pay them any money, but they saw the value of what we were doing and how it could possibly benefit their brand also, just by being associated with what we were doing. So that was additional exposure that we got that was completely free, that was not related to social media. But it's on October the 24th, 2013, which was right at about 2 years into it, I had 3,500 Facebook fans. So it's I have listed on my, 2014 of April, we hit 5,000 Facebook fans. So, in 14 months, I've gained 2,200 Facebook fans. Now, could it be a lot more if I was using lots and lots of Facebook ads? Probably so. But I'll be honest that it's really just kind of been a natural organic process of just putting out there what people want to go to.
That's awesome. So then how would then a small business, if they're not, more community-based like you are, if they do still have a little bit more sales message that they're trying to get out, how would they mimic what you've created here? What do they need to take away from what you've done that they can now apply to their own business?
Yeah, great question. My number one thing for small business owners, and I say this I worked with the Chamber of Commerce in Kentucky prior to having moved and actually started my own social media marketing business, is that brands need to say to themselves, people come to social media to connect with their friends, and they come to social media to connect with their family. Now, I don't care if you sell carpet I don't care if you sell rugs, or I don't care if you sell services and you're a realtor. People are not on purpose coming to Facebook to see you in their newsfeed. I'm sorry, that may just be really sad to somebody right now listening. But wait, here's the good news. The good news is you take some authenticity that takes away this, we are here with a buttoned up collar, everything is professional, and you think outside of the box, you can totally be successful on social media. So for example, if you are in a small town and you are the local dry cleaner, and there is a festival going on for the 4th of July, you absolutely should post about that festival on your Facebook page. Why? Does that have anything to do with dry cleaning? No. But is that something that is of interest to your target audience? I would say yes. Another thing, you are the dry cleaner in the business, but you see that the local florist was just featured in the state newspaper. Will you reach out to that local florist? If you're using your Facebook marketing, you should be connecting with other brands that are also on social media, like their page, comment on their page as your brand, interact with them. And you know what? Either on your page, you could make a graphic in Canva absolutely free and say, congratulations to North Main Florists for being selected as the featured, Wednesday Woman of the Week in the local newspaper. And then provide a link that goes directly to that newspaper. Now, what does that show the people that are following you? It shows that you are connected to the community, that you're interested in celebrating others, not just yourself, and that you're out there to just really try to bring people together. And in the midst of that, and in the midst of you posting, what's your favorite chocolate, dark chocolate or milk chocolate or chocolate with nuts, you also want to sprinkle in your selling message. So maybe it is that on Tuesdays you have dry cleaning for, $2 an item. So if I'm following you and I think that the things that you're posting are interesting, I may share that because I have a bunch of thrifty moms who like the idea of saving a couple bucks, and then I'm going to then push that out into my newsfeed. Why? I'm going to connect with you if you're putting out helpful, valuable information. If there's information about your brand that because it's your business, you've been doing it for 2 years, 5 years, or 30 years, and let's say you're an interior designer, well, you have tips to the clueless person like myself who completely does not know how to decorate that you take for granted. So not everything is going to be a post that says, call me if you would like to set up an appointment for me to help make your home like a beautiful home. But maybe you would post something that says 5 common questions that you should ask someone if you're interested in having an interior designer. And if you have that and it links back to your website, I'll be the first one to tell you I'd click it because I'm clueless, and you would be helping me. You'd be providing value to that person. And they may in that moment not need your dry cleaning services, or they may not need your interior designer services, but they may in 2 weeks or 6 months, or have a friend that needs them, and you will come top of mind rather than the business that's not out there on social media. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. No, that makes perfect sense. And it exactly mimics what I tell my clients. We have one of my clients is a heating and cooling company here in Missouri. And when graduation was going on for the local high school, we posted a picture of the school mascot and said, congratulations to all the graduating seniors. It has nothing to do with the heating and cooling company, but it does show exactly what you said. It shows a connection to the community. It shows that, we're paying attention, we're really involved, we want to support this local school. We want to support our community. So, and posts like that do so well because it's not salesy. It's genuine. It's authentic, and people relate to it. In this area, everybody needs heating and cooling contractors at some point, but I don't always want you to tell me to change my air filter and, tell me that there's a sale going on or whatever. I just want to get to know you. And that's what social media really lets us do, is really get to know not just the business, but the people behind it. There is a person back there that I can talk to and really get to know. So I think that's fantastic. I love it. I think what would be really beneficial for people is, was there any mistake that you made along the way? Is there something that kind of sticks out in your mind that you're like, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. And I wish somebody had told me not to do that, that maybe we could, take care of that before it happens to somebody else?
Something, I don't know if this is a mistake or maybe I was naive, but I think just kind of as a small business that is out there that's wanting to use social media, is you have, in my opinion, I feel that there are different businesses that are more open to partnering, to networking, to kind of collaborating on your business efforts. Now that seems like that may be contrary to some businesses, but like as I do social media marketing right now, I find just such an amazing community of people that are just like sharers. Like they want to put their information out there and they're like, how can I help you? And sometimes I feel that as I've done this business for Elizabethtown family in a small community, whether it's people or old school, or it's like, a mindset of, you weren't from here, you didn't go to high school here, or you don't advertise with my brand. So like if here's this particular radio station, for example, and you want to reach out to them, or they even have content that they want to put on their website that came from yours, don't steal other people's content and like take their graphics and like crop out their logo and like repost it as if it's yours. That's not the best way to like set a first impression with a brand. And I mean, there wasn't tons of that, but there was just a little bit of that, just kind of like resistance from what I would say other businesses that saw what I was doing as competition, and it just kind of made them standoffish. And at the end of the day, what comes around goes around, and my brand has been nothing but amazingly successful, even without those relationships, for some particular brands that kind of just really didn't seem to want to be of any interest, because they're, at the end of the day, and it could not necessarily have been their call. It could have been a boss that said, they do something slightly similar to us, so we are not going to in any way interact with that brand. But just kind of, I would say, to encourage you that if you reach out to another business, and here's what I mean when I say that. In Elizabethtown, there is, all types of businesses, just like in your small town. But if you were to reach out to, let's say you are a realtor, and you would love to have a class saying, come ask your questions. This is not saying I want you to sign up to have me as your realtor, but like you want to, in a really low stress way, to open up a conversation to have answered. So maybe in 6 months or in a year and a half, when you do want to sell a house, like we could have that dialogue. Or anyone, if you're a social media strategist like me, and you would love to maybe have a place for free that you could have like a 45-minute lunch and learn, well, consider going to a local business, especially if they're on social media, and go to them and say, hey, do you have a back room that I would maybe be able to have access to use for 45 minutes to invite people to come into your business to actually have this opportunity? And maybe they could come 15 minutes early and purchase things from your business, and other people may not. But if this is a business that has a bunch of empty space and you go in, it's an opportunity for both of those businesses to collaborate and to help one another. But if you go to a business and they say no, don't be discouraged by that. Go to another business, because someone else will say yes.
That's fantastic advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, because we are talking about a Facebook marketing really for a small business, and really how do we get, from 0 to 7,000, and of course it takes time and takes dedication. Absolutely. Don't start it if you can't commit to it. But what are some of the things, like what kinds of posts have done really well for you? When you were making these posts, are you just writing text? Are you making videos? Are you posting photos? Are you sharing from these other businesses directly? What's kind of the strategy that you've taken for this page?
Okay, well, I mean, for me particularly, like I'm putting out content that's community based of things that are taking place. But at the end of the day, it is a business. So people were paying to advertise on my website. So if a business, basically if you advertise with me, then that allowed us as a perk on advertising on our website, you would then be able to be promoted and have links to your website be included in the posts that we might be doing. And that may not apply necessarily if you, again, have a brick and mortar business and you're not necessarily promoting and having advertisers for your business, or you might. But I have seen successful for myself is people love it in small towns when you're talking about food. Okay, can I just tell you, 2 weeks ago, I posted that the local Kroger was having got a new Starbucks inside of this Kroger. And I'm going to see if I can pull it up real quick. But literally within 24 hours, this post had over 280 shares and had been seen by like 30,000 people. Okay, so what I did is I took a picture that my friend had posted of the actual Starbucks inside. I sent her a message and said, hey, do you mind if I use your picture to use it on Elizabethtown Family? Shout out to Sarah Combs. It was Sarah's photo, but I basically used her photo in Canva, made a pretty graphic that says Starbucks now in Kroger on Dolphin Drive. I included that and I added it and it went crazy. And there must have been like 90 comments in the stream, people going on sharing it to all their friends. Now, I'm sorry, I don't care if you are the local dry cleaner. If you see that there's like a local Starbucks that is opening, or that IHOP is having, kids eat free, or it's the International like Pancake Day and they're donating, money to the local children's hospital, and you can come all that day and eat free pancakes, post about that. People care. Trust me, they care. They want to know. And of course, that's my demographics, are families. But I would think that would work for lots of businesses, that you're putting out there a way that a family who's trying to keep a budget, that they can save 20 bucks by going out to dinner and drinking water and having like a meal at IHOP. Absolutely, that's something you can share. But I always have a good mix. Video is fantastic, and not enough small business owners are taking advantage of that. Facebook, as you know, Stephanie, they are trying to really encourage people to post organically. And when I say that, I mean you open up the page administrator on your phone and you open up the page to your business, you click phone, and I think it comes up and says, are you going to do a photo or video? And you post a video. Get one of your employees to literally hold the phone and for 40 seconds say, hey, we're so excited to let you know that today's special is. Come on by. We'll look forward to seeing you.
It does amazing things. I actually have to share because I have two heating and cooling companies, and another one that I work with, I just stopped into their store. I dropped in unannounced and was like, hey guys, let's shoot a video. The owner's looking at me like, wait, what? And really, we took a 30-second video from my smartphone, and they were getting ready they were going to have a booth at the local little trade show that weekend, and they were giving away St. Louis Cardinals tickets. We live in Missouri. We're all Cardinals fans. It's Cardinal Nation out here. So it's a huge pull. So all I had her do is I took the video, held up my phone, and she goes, hey, this is Teresa, from Jim's Heating and Cooling. Come out and see us at the Washington Home Show. We're giving away Cardinals tickets at our booth. Just stop by and see us. It was super simple. She did it in one take. She just held up the tickets while she was talking, and it went amazingly well. So much organic reach, and so many people saw it, and they stopped by the booth and went, I saw your video on Facebook, talk about proof, social proof. So that was so cool. And I was so happy to see that, kind of success for her. Oh, I do want to say this. I do have Periscope pulled up myself. I'm kind of following along, and I just saw somebody goes, go STL. So yes, go see. I had my Cardinals jersey on yesterday. I was rocking it. So
Yeah, but like overall strategy for a small business, if you are doing the social media yourself, you want to diversify the type of posts that you're doing. So include graphics. Graphics are visual. People love it. It doesn't cost you anymore. The photo takes up far more space in the news feed, which just from a like analytical perspective, that increases the odds that someone will pay attention to what you're posting about. Like we just discussed, the video is fantastic. Wow, there's crazy stuff going on Periscope. Sorry about that. And you can actually just include some links to other businesses that don't have a graphic. Sometimes I'll just have text. So it's really just having a good mix of it and being consistent in your posting. That's so important. You can't just disappear from Facebook and be gone for 3 months, but yet tell people in your store to like come and follow you, because they're gonna come and they're gonna see that the last post you did was January of 2015, and they're gonna immediately not see any reason to like your page, because they are gonna immediately think that you are not coming there and adding value. And the truth is you're not, if the last post you had was from January.
That's absolutely true. I explained it to a client not too long ago that, you know, we do all this other advertising, and I never want to knock any other advertising, especially in a small town, because, you know, traditional forms really do work out here. I mean, the yellow pages are still relevant out here in this small town. So when we are in a town of 10,000 people, yellow pages still work. So we use those tactics. We still use billboards out here, and, you know, advertise on the radio. And then we also use social media in conjunction with that. You know, I kind of explain it like the billboard is great and it gets everybody's eyeballs on you. But what it doesn't do is let you have a conversation with people. Nobody can respond to your billboard unless they're actually going to call you or come into your store because, hey, I saw your billboard. But how often does that really happen? So they're going to see you on that billboard. They're going to hear you on the radio. They're also going to now see you in their feed on Facebook. And now they're going to be able to actually say something to you. I'm going to be able to comment. I'm going to be able to like that post. And, you know, now I'm going to see you more and more and more. And that's what happens. That's how we build this relationship with people, because ultimately, I'm going to buy from someone that I like and I know and I trust. And that's what social media helps us do, especially in a small town where everybody knows everybody. So that's huge, is not to put all of your eggs in that social media basket. Don't go in going, Facebook's going to save my business. It's not going to happen like that. But what it is going to do is going to give you a leg up. You know, because now you are really a part of the community. You're not just in the store waiting for people to come to you. You're reaching out, and I'm trying to, you know, like Heather said about, you know, what she's doing in the Elizabethtown family, be out there and share what's valuable to the community. So I love what Facebook lets small business owners do. So amen to that.
Good girl. And, you know, I would just say too, as a small business owner, you know, you've got your target market of who you're trying to reach. And I feel as a business owner, I have like extra compassion and empathy when I see other brands out there also, you know, in their marketing dollars. Like just yesterday, I was at an intersection and I saw this plumbing company, and it was Meets Plumbing here in Columbia, South Carolina. And you know what? They had it was a huge billboard, but it was quite large enough for me to see that they had a big icon up there that said Facebook and Twitter. And you know what? I remembered their brand name. I went home. I literally looked them up on Facebook. I have no need for plumbing at this time, but I literally just went to their page and said, hey, just from one small business owner to another, you know, how's business going this summer? I hope you guys have a great day. And you know what? They connected back with me, and, you know, they interacted. And I just feel like it's just showing just some compassion and just some camaraderie from one business to the next. And you know what? Down the road, I may need a plumber and they may be top of mind to me, but if anything, just be out there building those connections and making those relationships.
Absolutely. So I do want to do a quick shout out to the people who've been talking about us over on Twitter. I've gotten a couple of tweets from people. So I definitely want to say thank you to Go-To Girl, who said, enjoying a very informative webinar with Stephanie and Heather, hashtag small town Facebook, hashtag learning. So that was awesome. Got one from BizDrone. It says, enjoying this great webinar from Steph and Heather. I got another one from Bartley who said, thanks Heather and Steph for the tips on small business and social media. Got another one from Steve Stewart, who he's been watching and sharing it with his fans. So I'm so excited to see all that activity. So thank you guys for tuning in and using hashtag, hashtag small town Facebook. I haven't seen any questions come in yet. So if you have a question about Facebook, definitely get it in so that we can answer it for you. That's what we're here for. So definitely send it our way, either Twitter, shoot it out on Periscope, or on the Hangout page itself. And we'll make sure we get those answered before we head out of here. Let me see here. I think I had another question for you.
On Periscope, do you guys have any questions? Any questions you want us to answer about Facebook for small businesses? We're absolutely looking. Great info, says Lisa Island Girl. I'm a health and wellness entrepreneur. Solid points. Great. Thank you so much, guys. Very
That's
cool.
Awesome. Love that. So what would be the one thing then, Heather, that you would want somebody to take away from this hangout? We've talked about so many different things. What's the thing that you hope stands out in their mind and they take it and they go do it right now? As soon as they stop watching, you're going to go do this. What would that be?
Okay, well, my number one would be that if you do have a business Facebook page, that you want to make sure that on your About page that you have a link to your website, like almost kind of high up in your About section. And the reason I say that is when you save it, and if you go back and look at your business Facebook page, you want somebody from the home view of your Facebook page to be able to see a link to your website. And I know that we're here talking about Facebook growth, but I absolutely care about your business growth. And if you do have a business, you need to be promoting your business via this tool. Like that's what I did. As we're talking about Facebook, and we could do a whole different Google Hangout, how I grew this website in this small town to have 10,000 people a month coming to the website to find out things to do. That's pretty cool to think, okay, my viewership on my website is 1/3 of the town. But I did that by, honestly, 90% of every post I had that was event related had a link back to my website, and I just constantly sent them there. I encourage people to sign up for my newsletter. So use your social media as a tool to help you meet your offline or off social media business goals. And then I would just say my biggest takeaway is to really make sure that you are diverse in the things that you're posting. Like I know that I'm mindful of this because I do social media, and I know that there are businesses that they're wanting to do their own social media, but they know within their heart that that's not the core of what they really care about. They really care about maybe the bottom line, the financials, business development, coming up with the new products. And Facebook is just kind of like there. It's like something that they think about at 11 p.m. at night. And so I'm just here to say, and I know that Stephanie speaks on this topic about, maximizing your social media to say, okay, how can I in 1 hour a day, like rock out social media for my brand? Is, guys, millions of people, and whether you are a town that's only wanting local business, or you have actual brick and mortar, or you want online or whatever, is that you've got to have a strategy for social media. You can't just go out there without a plan. And you may still have some things that do great and they're viral, but just my biggest tip, most business owners who really are positive are like, I am awesome. I've got an awesome service. I have birthday parties for kids. Absolutely, that's fabulous. And nobody's going to get tired of me talking about summer camp for free, summer camp 20% off. This week it's about, the rainbow colors. This week it's going to be about science. You've got to have a reality check no matter what type of brand your business is, and know that people are coming to social media to connect with their friends and with their family. And the things that is kind of take off the edge of that busy day sometimes is that dance video that has nothing to do with what their friend may normally post about. You and I know this. You've shared it yourself. You too can also post that dance video that's funny, that's 2 minutes long, and post it on your business page. It's not unprofessional. as long as it has the demographics of how they're dancing isn't like crazy or people are like scantily clad or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But you can take inspiration and funny and all those things. It needs to be a part of your marketing plan. It's not you being like out of focus. It's you being a smart business person. That's my number one tip.
That's awesome. So we've had quite a few questions come in, which is awesome. So there's 2 that came through on Periscope, and they cycled through so fast, but I did see them. One was, what tools are good for Facebook? And the other one, they were asking about, should you boost your posts on Facebook to get more impressions on something, if that was a good or a bad idea. So I'll speak to the tools just a little bit. So Facebook tools, I think that Facebook itself gives you so many things that it lets you do alone that I'm really happy with it. You can schedule posts from Facebook. You get all these insights for free. You can see when your fans are online. You can see what kind of posts they're doing well. You get this demographic information. So don't knock what Facebook already gives you for free, because it's amazing. But as far as some of the other tools that I use in conjunction with Facebook, I use Canva to create graphics for my page. I will use Feedly, Feedly, to find content that I can curate. So from reputable sources, from Forbes and Entrepreneur, like we're all familiar with those, but also with local blogs and people that, on a particular topic. So I'll use that a lot for content. There are so many tools out there. But for me, I use Sprout Social to keep up and stay engaged with everyone. And I know Heather uses Sprout as well. Mm-hmm. So those are some of my favorite tools that I use in conjunction with Facebook. But again, don't knock what Facebook already offers. You don't have to pay for anything else to have a rockin' Facebook page other than what they already provide you. So Heather, what do you think about boosting posts on Facebook?
Well, you know what? Let me see if I can do something real quickly. I'm going to do something. Do you mind if I try to share my screen real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
let's see how this works. We haven't done this yet.
This is. Okay, so real quick. Share. Okay, so real quick, guys, you should see on your screen a post I made today. Now, I do social media marketing for businesses, but this is a brand, a graphic I made in Canva that she was just telling us about, and it just says, I just did a week's worth of cardio after walking through that spider web. And it's already had several people to like it. It's not even been online much. But do you see what I'm saying? This is a moving company. And if you don't like spiders like I like spiders, like the first time I read that, it just made my heart like giggle a little bit. Like it was just funny. It's relatable. It's something that people can just, people can relate to. Does that make sense? You're just out there using those tools. Canva is just super easy to make those graphics. And like Stephanie said, Sprout Social is not free, but I do love Sprout Social. And another one that I would put out there as a tool recommendation is something called Post Planner. Just the word post and then Planner. Steph and I both met Joshua, is it Parkinson?
Yes.
Okay, I feel like I was butchering his last name, but he is the bomb.
I want to say it's Parkinson. Now it sounds right, but Joshua Post Planner.
Let me find him real quick. Gosh. Parkinson. Yeah, talk about multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
This is important, guys. I don't want to tell people the wrong name. Okay, yeah, clearly. I think is it Josh or is it Joshua? Now that I'm looking for it, I can't find it, so never mind. Anyway, just Google Post Planner. It is amazing. And you can use it for scheduling, but you can also use it to find viral content, and you can use it to find under like content, like let's say you have a folder called social media. And it would pull up content about social media that's viral and is like doing really well and is getting tons and tons of shares. And you can use that as a business idea to, one, either share it if you think that is from a great source that you find to be reputable, that you find like their vision and how they do their business, and maybe it's comparable to like your philosophy. But you could also find photos that did amazingly well in, say, like that photo that I just showed you guys, I found that on Post Planner. It was someone else did it, but I just said, oh, that's cute, that's funny. I'm gonna add in like an extra word. I changed it a little bit, but I just created my own graphic and made it in Canva, and it was then a custom graphic with the brand of my client actually on the actual graphic. And so there we have a custom graphic. So that's kind of my 10 cents. And, you know, backing up Stephanie, Canva is awesome. PicMonkey is also awesome. And that's just spelled P-I-C and then the word monkey. But these are tools that you can use free. Canva, you can pay to use some of their stock photos, but I personally love photography, and I just use my own photos, and I just create great graphics.
So that was good that you mentioned PicMonkey, because one of the questions I got on Twitter was from BizDrone, and they said, question, what are alternatives to Canva? So PicMonkey is definitely one. I know that there's a new one that's coming soon. It's not launched yet, but I'm pretty excited for it. It's called Relay. So it's at relaythat.com. So I'm excited for that one to launch, from Craig Carpenter. And then I know some people who just use PowerPoint, because they don't have Photoshop, they don't have access to Adobe Illustrator, or when I don't want to pay for it, or it's far too complicated to learn for some people. But some people I know just use PowerPoint to make their graphics. So if you don't have access to some of these other tools, that definitely will work.
Yeah, and I will say this, you know, technology, and this is like user error, my phone just died. So for anybody who was watching this on Periscope, like it just abruptly ended. So sorry for that.
Oh, no, yeah, I just saw it end on my end. Oh, lost connection. That's so sad. Yeah, having Periscope on your phone, like, it drains my battery so horribly. Like, I think when we started this, I had like 45%, and I think I'm at 16 now. 14. Just been watching it. But I do have some other questions from Twitter. Jess Creatives asked, if we're new to the area and we don't have a physical location, what are some of the things that we should do as it applies, to social media, to marketing?
Well, like this comes to mind, and obviously you may not have food, but like if your service, like let's say you make cupcakes, but you have business cards and it's all legit and you're ready to go out there doing business, but you don't have a storefront. Well, I know real people that really did this, is they went and purchased like cute containers and had all their packaging and kind of did like half dozen size containers. And they would just take their business card to a different business every week. And they, whether they stopped off at a dentist office or an eye doctor's office. And I'm not saying it's going to be like enough for the entire office, but if anything, those people who are business savvy, they're at the front, they're answering the phones, they may be having an office party, and you go by and just say, hey, my name is Jess with Jess Creatives, and I just wanted to come and drop by to you guys our latest flavor. Here's my card. If you ever need anything or you're interested in some cupcakes for any future event or birthday party, let me know. I hope you guys have a great day. Just going out there and putting yourself out there to be known. If you are a lawn mowing service, what's to say that if you're new in an area, you've got your business card in hand and you go to 3 local nonprofits, maybe it's a Boys and Girls Club of America, or maybe it's a food pantry, and you know what, they've got a half-acre lot, and you just walk in and say, you know what, we are choosing one nonprofit a month to just come by and just say thanks for what you do in the community, and we would love to mow your grass today. Would that be something that's okay with you? Most likely they're gonna say yes. Hello, it's 100 degrees outside and you're willing to mow my grass for free? And I'll tell you what, every one of those people who you come in contact with, they have a neighbor, or they've got a colleague, or they have maybe a Sunday school class. And you know what, your name and your brand may come up. Or I'll tell you, people are going to social media to complain about businesses, but they are also going there to praise them. So that person who has 500 personal followers in their Facebook page, Now, I'm the type, I would go to the effort to find you on Facebook, find your link, I'd hyperlink to your brand and say, this guy is in my front yard mowing, or he just came by, for our local crisis pregnancy center, and he's mowing our grass. We're so thankful. If you need services, call him. And let other people become your raving fans. I hope that helps. That's my insight, Jess.
Absolutely. So I clicked through, Jess, on your page, and I can see that you are a graphic and web designer. You work with entrepreneurs and small businesses and nonprofits. When I moved here, I moved from Chicago, this huge, huge city, to where I live now in Union, Missouri, which is about 10,000 people. I didn't know anybody here. I didn't have, I was just starting my business. So I didn't have connections. I didn't have a storefront. So what I did was anybody I talked to, people ask you, so what do you do? I work in social media. Oh, really? And you just kind of, a natural conversation comes. But really what happened with me and how I got my business going, especially without that storefront in a town I was new to, was joining networking groups. That has been the single best thing I've ever done. I joined a local group. It was kind of BNI style, but not an actual BNI group. So there was no fees to join. I attended networking and, classes at my local church. I reached out to the Chamber of Commerce and joined, the chamber and started attending their events to really get connected with the people I needed to meet. You work with small business owners, Jess, so you and I are in the same boat. I needed to meet small business owners, so I needed to go to where they were. And I knew they were going to be with Chamber of Commerce stuff, so that's what I did. And that has worked tremendously well for me. So you can definitely steal that. Another question that came in was from Steve Stewart, and he said, I'm seriously considering a Facebook Twitter rebrand. Is there a way to do that without losing fans? Meaning I'm moving away from his podcast. His show is called Money Plan SOS, and that's the handle he uses on Twitter as well. He uses that, and he wants to move to a different Facebook page name and a Twitter handle altogether. So how does he do that without losing, this brand that he's already built? How does he make that transfer?
Well, I'll answer the question for Facebook because I do know the answer to that. It's a whole process where you pretty much have to go through this process of selecting to reach out to Facebook and asking if they will allow you. What I have heard back, I've not personally had to do it, but if the name is changing slightly, but the brand is very similar in what you're going to be doing, I have heard people have positive success with Facebook saying, like, for example, yes, we will let you change your name from Elizabethtown Family Fun Times to I want to change the name of my brand to Elizabethtown Family. And they can go there and they can say, okay, she does this for this community. It's very similar. Okay. But if you're wanting to go from I am Elizabethtown Family to my name is, Monica's Hair Boutique, they're going to say no. I do know that for sure on Facebook. I have not ever had to actually reach out to Twitter and check on that. Do you know, Stephanie?
Actually, I have done that before. I have changed my name on Twitter. If you can see it in my lower third, it says @StephNissen and then an underscore. That's because when I joined Twitter back in whatever year that was, 2009, I was a teenager. So I used a handle it was not my name. So when I decided I was going to build my business, I was like, okay, I got to go back. I got to change this Twitter handle. But even then I didn't have that many followers. I think I had 200-300 people, but I didn't want to lose them. So I just, in Twitter, you can go in and you can change your username. There's no, submitting it to Twitter and getting approval. You can change it to whatever you want. The only thing you have to remember is you are now not going to see anything that was ever sent to your old handle. So Steve, if you have @MoneyPlanSOS, anything that used to come to that handle is not going to come to you anymore. It's only going to come if they tag your new handle. So you're going to lose all your old conversations, which is not fun. You'll be able to see the old conversations in the search because I can see old ones that were sent to my old handle. And then you have to remember that handle that you used to have is now going to be made available to anybody else. So somebody else could come in and use @MoneyPlanSOS after you transfer your name. So that's really important to remember. So if you're worried about that, I would go ahead and change your Money Plan SOS, change it to whatever the new handle is going to be for your new brand. But then go and sign up to Twitter again and go immediately sign up using @MoneyPlanSOS. So then you can have it and you can monitor anything that still comes in using the old handle, and then just direct those people over. Be like, I'm at this new handle now. And then you won't lose anything. You don't get maybe a competitor who comes in and tries to take it, or, tries to, steal anything from you. So Twitter is an easy change. You're just going to lose, conversations.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Stephanie, I know right now we are at 55 minutes. So I just wanted to share that with you on the time front.
Yes. So cool. Let me see here. There's a couple more questions. A quick one with some go-to girl about to run my first Facebook contest. Do you have any tips? And I just want to tell her, go check out Heyo. Okay. HEYO. Go check out Heyo. That'd be my quick tip for you on that. I do want to, because I know Heather has a really cool offer that I know she wants to share. So I want to give Heather the floor so she can share what she has to give you guys for hanging out with us, for the last hour, which is awesome. Love you guys.
Yeah, so just kind of like real small, like how this transitioned is I lived in Kentucky. I created this business and this brand. Life was great. I was working for the Chamber of Commerce also. I'm in a brand new role that they created, and I got that job, and life was fantastic. And you know what? Life changed. Circumstances happened. Some of them weren't so great. At the end of the day, my husband just felt strongly that it would be really nice if we lived near family. So even though business was great, I just put my faith in my husband, and we just prayed about it. And long story short, he put in a transfer request with his job, and we moved 45 days later to my hometown. So if you're talking about being new and starting in a new town, I not only moved, but I started a new business. And I pretty much took everything that we've talked about over the last hour in social media, and I just developed my own social media company. So in case you were wondering, I do currently live in South Carolina. The Elizabethtown family business is still in Kentucky, and I still run that. I do have some local support with a great creative manager, Jessica, who helps me do just a couple things that I can't do because I'm physically not there. But today my offer is connected with my company, Sweet Tea Social Marketing. And I just want to put an offer out there to anyone who's a business owner who would like to maybe have someone specifically answer their direct pain point of a question that wasn't maybe addressed in this Google Hangout. I would love to talk with you absolutely for free for 15 minutes. So all you have to do to get that is go to my website, which is sweetteasocialmarketing.com. And when you get there, just click on the button. I think it says connect here. And as soon as you do, it'll give you an opportunity to sign up for Heather's Haven. As soon as you do that, one, you're going to get a free ebook on great tips that you need to be doing if you are a small business on social media. And then as soon as you get my first email, just click reply and say, I want my free 15 minutes, and then we'll get that scheduled. So that's it. And while you are giving your offer, I will actually put on the actual Google Plus page a link to my website. So you go right ahead, Steph. Tell them something that you've got as an offer.
Yeah, sounds good. So, we've been talking about Facebook, today, and everybody really has, this is a lot of general information, that you have to tweak and apply it to your own page. So what I want to offer is a Facebook session. So let's do, an audit of your Facebook page. Let's look at your cover photo. Let's look at your description. Let's look at what you're posting, how often you're posting. And let's do that kind of one-on-one. Let me take a look at it by myself, and then you and I will connect and we'll really dive into your page, and I'll give you some suggestions, give you some insight. Here, let's try this instead. Have you thought about doing it this way? And give you some tips so you can move forward and really rock it on Facebook. So that would be a 1 hour session with me, which I normally do for $75. But I am happy to do it with anybody on this Hangout for $35. So less than half of what I normally do. So if you want that, all you have to do is you can either send me a tweet, which is at Steph Nissen and then an underscore and just say, hey, let's connect. I want that Facebook audit. Or you can comment on the page or, shoot me an email. I'm always available. It's just contact@nissenmedia.net. So I will throw my email also on the event page so that you guys can grab it there if you'd rather email me instead of tweet me. Either works. And then hopefully I can help you out with your Facebook page because I know that's why you're here. You want to learn more about Facebook. So let's dive in even further. All right. So Heather, do you have any last minute thoughts for our viewers?
Yeah, just be encouraged. Keep on working social media. Don't give up on Facebook. Facebook is definitely out there and doing great, and it's not disappearing tomorrow. So, like I said, tons and tons of your local target audience is on Facebook. So don't give up on Facebook. Just be posting content that is helpful, that's valuable, and that gives people something that helps them be smarter after they've read your post. That's it.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and I would definitely mimic Heather's sentiment there. Keep up with it. Don't get discouraged. There's amazing things happening on Facebook. Yes, it changes all the time. It can definitely get frustrating, but stick it out. It's worth it. I promise. If you put in the work, you're going to see great things come from it. So with that being said, I'm so happy that you guys hung out with us. There were so many good questions, and for the people who did watch it on Periscope, appreciate that. Sorry, kind of got cut off on you. And thank you for all the tweets. It was fantastic. I love all your questions. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Our next hangout is going to be super cool. I'm so excited. I'm not going to share with you who's going to be our guest, but just know that you need to keep watching my Facebook page and Heather's because it's going to rock your world. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, very cool. Well, we will end this hangout. And again, if you want to catch this later or watch the replay, all you have to do is maybe wait about 15 minutes and it will be up on YouTube, and we will both put links on our Facebook page. So come connect with us, guys. Take care.
Bye.